実用英語技能検定準1級リスニングテスト。ただいまから準1級リスニングテストを行います。これからお話しすることについて質問は受けませんので、よく注意して聞いてください。なお、リスニングテスト放送中に音飛びや騒音があった場合は、発生した問題のトラックの始めに戻し、やり直します。しかしながら、万が一、教室監督者が気づかない場合は、速やかに手を挙げてお知らせ願います。このテストでは、テストの方法と注意事項がすべて英語で放送されます。
The listening test for the grade Pre-1 examination is about to begin. Listen carefully to the directions. You will not be permitted to ask questions during the test. This test has 3 parts. All of the questions in these 3 parts are multiple choice questions. For each question, choose the best answer from among the 4 choices written in your test booklet. On your answer sheet, find the number of the question and mark your answer. You are permitted to take notes for every part of this listening test. Now, here are the directions for Part 1. In this part, you will hear 12 dialogues, number 1 through number 12. Each dialogue will be followed by 1 question. For each question, you will have 10 seconds to choose the best answer and mark your answer on your answer sheet. The dialogue and the question will be given only once.
Now we will begin the Grade Pre-1 listening test. Number 1.
So, John, do you have any plans for your family vacation?
Well, we usually visit my parents in Florida, but the drive is so tiring, we may stay closer to home this year.
How about taking the train instead?
I hadn't thought of that.
My kids really like being free to move around, and they love the sleeping compartments.
You know, that sounds appealing. We'd have to find someone to look after the dog, but it might be worth it.
Question. What is the woman's opinion? Number 2.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to have these pants shortened. How long do your alterations take?
We generally need 2 full days, so you could pick them up on Wednesday evening. Are you in a hurry?
Well, if possible, I'd really like to have them sometime tomorrow.
We can do that for an extra $5. The total would be $12.
Fine. I'll drop by tomorrow afternoon then.
Question. What will the man do? Number 3.
Excuse me, did I just hear that the 9 o'clock train to Kentbury has been cancelled?
Yes, ma'am. By the time a replacement is ready, the next train will be leaving anyway.
But that doesn't leave until 10:15. I've got to be in Kentbury by 10.
You could take a taxi. The worst of the traffic should be gone by now. Or take the bus, which wouldn't cost as much.
I'd rather pay extra. At least then I might get there on time.
Question. What will the woman probably do?
Number 4.
Hi, Simone. Have you finished that travel guidebook you've been putting together?
Yeah, it's all done. The whole process was a bit frustrating, though.
Why? Was it difficult editing all the articles? Travel writers can be defensive about their work.
No, that was fine. But my boss has been away, so I had to teach myself how to use the publishing software as I went along, which slowed things down.
Well, with this experience, the next one is sure to go more smoothly.
I hope so.
Question. What does the woman say about the guidebook? Number 5.
Did you see the program about local universities on TV last night? We were featured.
No, I missed that. What did they say about us?
Well, they showed the university center, library, and research facilities. And several of my students were interviewed. They did quite well.
So it helped our university's image.
Maybe, but the other schools also looked pretty good. I wonder how attractive we looked in comparison.
Let's hope enough high school students liked what they saw.
Question. What can be said about the TV program?
Number 6.
Hi, Joe. I'm calling to send my regrets in regard to your retirement party.
Oh, you can't make it, Kathy?
No, sorry. My grandson invited me to his college graduation, and I've really been looking forward to going.
Well, you can't be in two places at once. We'll miss you at the party, though.
I'm sure you'll still have a good time. Let's try and catch up soon.
Question. What do we learn about Kathy? Number 7.
Hello, I'm here to see Victor Chu. He had surgery this morning.
Visiting hours ended 10 minutes ago, but you can come back tomorrow.
But I'm his sister, and I'm out of the country on business from tomorrow. Isn't there any way I could see him now?
Sorry, it would disturb the other patients.
Could I at least talk to the doctor about how the surgery went?
All right, I'll page him and see if he's available.
Question. What does the man agree to do?
Number 8.
We finally got our bonuses. What are you going to do with yours, Charlie?
I'm planning to invest it.
Really? Are you going to buy stock in our company?
No, I've heard the real money is in overseas markets.
Sounds risky. How can you be sure you won't lose everything?
I'll talk to a financial advisor first, of course, but you can't expect to get good returns without taking a chance.
Question. What is the man planning to do?
Number 9.
I want to start an herb garden so we can have some fresh ingredients when we cook.
What would that involve?
For a start, we'd have to remove some of the lawn.
I don't know. That sounds like it might be overambitious.
It's just part of the lawn, and we can do it ourselves, so we wouldn't need to hire a landscaping service. There'd still be plenty of room for the dogs to play.
Let me think about it.
Question. What is the man's opinion?
Number 10.
Hi, Liz. I heard you climbed Mount Rainier last weekend.
Yeah, we were worried about the weather, but it turned out okay.
Did you reach the top in time for the sunset?
Unfortunately, we missed it. A member of our group hurt his ankle, so we took an easier route that was less direct.
Oh, well, I hope you still got some great photos along the way.
I did, and it was very satisfying when we finally reached the top.
Question. Why did Liz's group miss the sunset?
Number 11.
I'm full. That seafood salad was wonderful. I've never had such delicious shrimp, and the dressing was amazing.
Yes, And that blueberry sauce went surprisingly well with the roast lamb.
The waiter could have been a bit quicker, though. It took 10 minutes just to get a menu.
And I never did get a beer refill either. They need to pay a bit more attention to the little things.
Yeah. Still, the restaurant's only been open a few days. These things take a bit of time.
Question. What do these people think?
Number 12.
Excuse me, Professor Rivers, do you have a moment?
Sure, Luke. What's the problem?
To be honest, I've found your biochemistry class tough recently.
Well, I'm a little concerned about your recent test scores, too. You seem to be having trouble with some of the key concepts.
Is there anything I can do to catch up?
I expect your schedule's a little full, but I can set you up with a tutor if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that.
Question. What is Luke's problem?
Here are the directions for Part 2. In this part, you will hear 6 passages, A through F. Each passage will be followed by 2 questions, number 13 through number 24. For each question, you will have 10 seconds to choose the best answer and mark your answer on your answer sheet. The passage and the questions will be given only once. Now, let's begin.
A. Pontevedra, Spain. In recent decades, Spain's historical city of Pontevedra has been transformed into an urban environment that promotes family life. The mayor says Pontevedra used to be a city that was heavily polluted and had a lot of traffic accidents. However, rather than just trying to improve traffic conditions, the local government decided to adopt a policy of pedestrianization. The policy banned street parking in the city center, which led to a large reduction in vehicle usage. Now, public spaces have been redesigned for people on foot rather than for vehicles. Not surprisingly, CO2 emissions in Pontevedra are down by about 70%. What is more, crime has decreased, and the population and birth rate have risen. There were early protests from business people who feared the local economy would suffer, but that has not happened, and the city's policy has been well received overall. In fact, the political party which implemented it has enjoyed repeated election successes due to its popularity.
Questions. Number 13. What is one change the local government made? Number 14. What has been one result of the city's policy?
B. Hyperthymesia. People with a rare condition known as hyperthymesia can recall nearly all their experiences, starting from a young age. Interestingly, brain scans reveal some differences between their brains and those of ordinary people. But in many ways, the memories of people with hyperthymesia are quite similar. For example, when memorizing lists of words or remembering faces, their memories are sometimes no better than those of ordinary people. However, for people with hyperthymesia, memories of personal events do not fade in the way that other people's memories do. Unfortunately, people with hyperthymesia can find it difficult to overcome emotional pain and regret. because they can easily be reminded of unpleasant experiences that happened far in the past. People with hyperthymesia recall such experiences as if they had happened very recently, which can be extremely painful.
Questions. Number 15. How are people with hyperthymesia different from ordinary people? Number 16. What is one side effect for people with hyperthymesia? C. The Lex Oppia. The Lex Oppia was a law passed in ancient Rome in 215 BC that limited the amount of wealth women could possess. At that time, Rome faced a financial crisis because it was at war with Carthage. Many historians believed the women's wealth was taken to support the war effort. Women were also banned from wearing large amounts of jewellery and fancy clothing. After Rome defeated Carthage, many Romans demanded an end to the Lex Oppia. Some politicians, like Cato the Elder, however, wanted it to remain because he believed too much wealth had a harmful effect on women. Cato the Elder had a poor opinion of women and claimed luxury led to jealousy and disharmony. But mass demonstrations by women eventually led to the law's removal in 195 BC.
Questions. Number 17. What is one way the Lex Oppia affected women? Number 18. What is one thing we learn about Cato the Elder?
D. Ira Aldridge. Ira Aldridge was a well-known actor in Europe in the 1800s. What made him different from most other actors was his race. He was an African-American born in New York City in 1807, at a time when black people were still slaves in some states. Although Aldridge was talented, black actors were generally kept out of the theater business in the U.S., so he emigrated to England. Aldridge still experienced some racism in England, but he was also recognized for his acting ability. Just a few years after relocating, he became manager of the Coventry Theatre. He acted in and produced plays that expressed his views against slavery. And it is thought that he inspired people to pressure the British government to end slavery. Aldridge also performed for kings and queens all over Europe, and he remains an important figure in both black history and theater.
Questions. Number 19. Why did Ira Aldridge move to England? Number 20. What is one thing we learn about Aldridge when he was in England? E. Satellite rediscovery. One day in 2018, an amateur astronomer received a weak signal from a satellite that NASA had lost contact with in 2005. IMAGE is a multi-million-dollar satellite that performed a number of missions in space. NASA stopped trying to contact IMAGE a few years later because it believed the satellite's power supply had been badly damaged and was no longer working. The amateur astronomer posted information about his discovery on the internet and contacted NASA himself. When NASA scientists found that IMAGE was still functioning, they tried to regain control over it. Unfortunately, its operating system has become out of date, so the project scientists are trying to develop software that will work with the satellite. NASA hopes it can start controlling image again and have the satellite send pictures of the northernmost part of Earth.
Questions. Number 21. Why did NASA stop trying to contact the image satellite? Number 22. Why has it been difficult for NASA to regain control over the image satellite?
F. Old hospitals find new life. In recent decades, many older hospitals in the U.S. have been closed. One reason is that hospitals today often need large operating rooms and private accommodations for patients. Many older hospital buildings, though, had shared accommodations and smaller operating rooms, so they were unable to meet modern medical needs. In urban areas, many former hospitals are being turned into apartments. Their high ceilings and wide hallways make them easy to convert into separate living spaces. In addition, many are in central city locations, so they are popular places to live. However, some have been converted into luxury residences, which has angered local people. The hospitals were originally built to care for the poor. Locals say it is wrong for them to be made into living spaces for wealthy people. More recently, there have been efforts to use former hospitals as low-rent public housing for senior citizens.
Questions. Number 23. What caused many older hospitals to close? Number 24. Why are local people upset?
Finally, here are the directions for Part 3. In this part, you will hear 5 passages, G through K. The passages represent real-life situations and may contain sound effects. Each passage will have one question, number 25 through number 29. Before each passage, you will have 10 seconds to read the situation and question written in your test booklet. After you hear the passage, you will have 10 seconds to choose the best answer and mark your answer on your answer sheet. The passage will be given only once. Now, let's begin.
G. You have 10 seconds to read the situation and question number 25.
Your son's English isn't good enough for regular classes yet, so we have some other options. Bishop Elementary is a Japanese-English bilingual school in Bridgetown, about an hour's drive from your home. Williams Elementary has a program in Japanese. It's about 30 minutes away by car. There are also 2 schools about a 20-minute walk from your home. The first is Thatcher Elementary, which has an English program for non-native English speakers. The second one, Johnson Elementary, offers an English mainstream program, but it's too soon for that.
Now mark your answer on your answer sheet.
H. You have 10 seconds to read the situation and question number 26.
As you know, we will release our new product, Coruspan Tea, onto the market soon. However, when taken with certain drugs and supplements, the risk of side effects is a little higher than previously thought. The label we have already made has a general warning, but the legal team says we risk a lawsuit if we don't make a new one. The new label should list all drugs and supplements that might interact with Coruspan Tea. The research team has the necessary details, so meet with them right away. Once the label's done, you'll need to prepare a new press release by June 15th.
Now mark your answer on your answer sheet.
I. You have 10 seconds to read the situation and question number 27.
We have 4 tours at the moment. The 2-day Big Cat Safari Camp, a photographer's favorite, focuses on lions and cheetahs. That one's $800. Then we have a couple of 3-day tours with access to giraffes, elephants, hippos, lions, and more. The first 3-day tour, the Backpacker's Special, is $900 and provides guests with a sleeping bag and large tent. The second one, the Glamping Expedition, offers comfortable huts with private baths for $1,200. Finally, the Game Park Tour takes you through 3 of Kenya's game parks over 5 days. You'll see hippos, flamingos, and elephants for $1,000. A great bargain.
Now mark your answer on your answer sheet.
J. You have 10 seconds to read the situation and question number 28.
%30 of your grade comes from your textbook assignments and class participation. Another 30% of your grade will be based on your essays. The main criteria will be structure, content, and grammar. The final 40% will come from the journal you keep outside of class. This will be scored on quantity and originality. There is a minimum page requirement for grades of A, B, C, and D. The journal is meant to encourage free writing, so don't worry too much about grammar or spelling.
Now mark your answer on your answer sheet.
K. You have 10 seconds to read the situation and question number 29.
Thanks for your interest. We offer courses in all kinds of arts and handicrafts. Our new evening classes include Advanced Ceramics and Advanced Woodworking. Those are on Thursdays at 6 and 8, respectively, and we recommend you have at least a year's experience before joining them. Other classes are on the same schedule as last semester. On Mondays, it's Basic Watercolors at 6 and Metalworking at 8. On Tuesdays, Beginner Ceramics at 6 and Woodworking Basics at 8. On Wednesdays, we have Intermediate Ceramics at 6 and Leatherworking for Beginners at 8.
Now mark your answer on your answer sheet.
Your time is up. Stop writing and wait quietly until the answer sheets have been collected.
では、時間です。 筆記用具を置いて答えの記入をやめてください。これにて試験終了となります。